What's going on, my friends? Welcome to another episode of How Much Material Am I Gonna Need to Seal a Floor? What I'm gonna do for you today is I'm gonna show you how to use Microestil Pure PU20 Pro. This is a 2-component 2K isocyanate sealer. This is your protective layer for your micro cement. This is what's going to give you your durability, your scratch resistant, your stain resistance. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure that all out. So, PU20 Pro is a 2-part, but you can add a little bit of water to it to thin it down, 5 to 10% max, or you can use it full strength. The idea is you have to use a specific amount per square foot. So when you see this information here, you might think, oh, that's how much it's going to cover. No, that's how much you need to use, suggested by the manufacturer for maximum durability. Whether you put that on in 1 coat, or 2 coats, or 3, that's how much you need to use. So 13 grams per square foot is what you need for maximum durability. So in the other room over there, I have our showroom floor, which we've had done for a few years. It got really beat up. I'm gonna drop some photos and videos in there of what it looked like. And basically we were batching black colorant formulas in there. We were doing all kinds of things and just didn't care. We gave it a light sand with 150. And then we resealed it with hydro lacquer, 2 coats. The first one we sponge applied, we rolled the next coat on. Now I'm back the next day, I'm gonna put this on. I'm actually just gonna do it in 1 coat. So I'm gonna weigh out the amount that it says I'm gonna need. I've got 160 square feet over there. So I'm gonna do the math for all of that for you to see it, how I put it on. I'm just gonna pour it on the floor, roll it around, and just fill out the whole area. I'm gonna time lapse the whole process so you can see it. So let's get started. Let's see me putting on PU20 Pro matte. All right, so here we go. What are you gonna need in order to be able to do this? You're gonna need some gloves. You're gonna need a strainer. You're gonna want a little bit of clean water. And then obviously you're gonna need the sealer and the activator. So I've opted to decide that I'm going to actually do it in 1 layer versus 2. So how I'm gonna come up with what I need for that is I've calculated in a book where I've broken down all the numbers, which I can provide to you, how much you need to mix in order to cover that amount in 1 heavy coat or 2 single coats. It also says it on the bucket. I've got all the information, no problem, just ask, I give it to you, answer all your questions. Nothing's a secret. I want you to be successful. So here we go. The other thing that's really important you must know, for me, I wear these really good 3M masks. This is basically like an M95 except on steroids. And basically this for me is I need to protect myself. If you're gonna be doing this work all the time, I would highly recommend you invest in one of these because it just makes the job easier and it's really, really gonna protect you long term. And if you're gonna do this type of work, there's no reason why you should not take care of yourself. So that's my recommendation. So the rest of this is all gonna be time-lapse based. So that's it. Enjoy the show. All right, this next step is super important. You do not want to entrap a bunch of air in there. So you want to use your drill on a low speed, 1, not on 2, and you just want to give it time to mix everything in, mix everything really well, especially because you're adding water. See how much field of view I have with this mask? They're great. Don't get me wrong, they are expensive, but they are worth every penny. You'll find that if you're inside of a enclosed room or anything like that, the off-gassing of when these chemicals are mixing together is very strong. You definitely need to protect yourself. They are water-based, but still, any 2-part chemicals mixing together, 100% you need to protect yourself. You need to let the people know around you that you're going to be doing this. Normally we would do it on a weekend when there's nobody else in the house. If it's a lived-in house, you're going to want to put a vapor barrier on the door. Once everything cures and dries, then the smell goes away. It doesn't have a constant off-gassing VOC like some products do. Nice microfiber roller. is I'm going to pour out my sealer. So then I can start to apply it. Definitely got to make sure we get all the hair. You definitely want to roll it out. You don't want to leave thick spots. See the thick spots? You gotta get those out. Okay, it's a bit hard to see because of the sun, but I know you can see those roller marks, but this stuff will self-level out, and on top of that, it provides a bit of anti-slip. You can put things in it to provide anti-slip, but ideally, you don't want to stretch this so thin. So we'll come back, I'll show you this in a couple days. It all starts to level and even out. But you can kind of see it in the sun right there. All right, so now let's go see how much we have left in our bucket after I've rolled it out. Because you don't want to run out in the middle of a floor. So I got some samples laying around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll those out, and then there we go. We keep our waste to a minimum. Thanks for watching. Hope you had fun. Learn, contact me, ask questions. Microestil.